Hello YouTubers, Toby Till here with Rocky Mountain Snow MX. We are here to provide you with all of your snow bike related technical videos and also any parts or accessories you may need for your snow bike. Feel free to give us a call, 720-263-7533. All right, so now we're gonna do C3 intake, install, an airbox cut and all that good stuff. So the first thing I do, I don't actually put the intake air temperature sensor into the intake. I like to leave it in its factory location on these bikes. So I'll use a little E6000 and a plastic plug. Glue it into the hole in the intake. All good. So I'll let that dry while I'm doing everything else. All right, so the first thing that I'll do is I'll cut the air box. Everybody always wants to worry about this $40 piece of plastic and whether they're going back to dirt or not. Here's my thing, right? You need this piece of plastic to hold these pieces. You also to hold these side plastic holders. Right? You also need this piece of plastic to kind of finish everything up. So if you will just cut it, if you ever go back to dirt, then just buy a new piece of plastic and go back to dirt. It's not any big deal. But if you cut it and you do a good job of clearing it all out, you never have intake packing issues, even in the lightest, fluffiest snow, because you've got a big vacuum cleaner in here and you're sucking up everything related to snow, and you're going to end up with lots of snow in this area if you don't cut the airbox. So the whole goal is to cut the bottom out of the airbox so that the snow gets sucked in and drops out, gets onto the track system, and goes away. So that's our whole goal. Ty, if you want to go ahead and put together the intake, right? We're going to go this way, right, onto here. So we're going to have to twist this once it's in there for the right orientation. So go ahead and grab some Windex. And let's put some Windex on here, get that put together, we'll put this on, yeah, you go ahead and put this on now while I'm cutting the airbox. So I cut the airbox just below the mud flap mount bolt, and I cut it just straight across. And then I come up from the bottom, my next cut, just inside of the subframe. To the first cut. So the very first piece that comes out of this airbox is this one. Triangular. This is the back edge of it. There's the top side and the side. So that's the first piece that comes out. Second piece is we got to make a little room for the intake to set on this side. So I will literally start about halfway through the top of the airbox. Start my cut there. You know what? I got ahead of myself with the camera. Whenever you take off the intake, put a rag in the throttle body. It's not like a little bit of plastic dust is gonna hurt a damn thing in this motor, but better not to process that. All right, so now we're gonna cut from the top here. End up cutting right into the air filter stay. Air cleaner mount. We just cut right into it. It'll come right out. Then we continue from the bottom of that mount. And right back over into the airbox filter. What that's going to do is it's going to set our intake in here once installed without rubbing. There's a nice little pocket for it so it doesn't rub as we install it. Once we're done with that, give it just a little tune-up with the box knife so you don't have shavings all over the place. Same thing on the back. Just give all these edges a nice quick 45-degree cut. All right, airbox is all cut. Now, let's see, I'm going to want to roll this in here, have that guy underneath. Oops. Two different Now that we've got the air box all cut out, trimmed up, we're going to put the boot onto the throttle body. When we put the boot on, there's a recessed area inside of the boot that goes all the way up onto the throttle body. You want to make sure that that throttle body goes all the way in to the boot and bottoms out. Put your clamp on, then go ahead and rotate that boot so that it kind of comes up and back. I'll show you a picture here in a minute. And then you can put your metal portion of the intake into that adapter boot. Go ahead and put it in, put your sock on. What you're trying to do is keep the sock and the metal portion of the intake off of any plastics or subframe. So you can rotate the boot on the throttle body to create clearance. You can actually rotate the metal portion of the intake inside of the boot. So it doesn't, this end does not have to set equally inside of the boot. You can have it off and countered a little bit. As long as your hose clamp is gripping on the metal and you've got a solid fit that won't pull back out, you're all set. So what I do is I get it in there, I get it looking the way that I want it to, and then I take my fingers. And if I can fit my finger between the metal portion and any plastics or subframe, we're good to go. What you don't want is the metal rubbing on something hard with the sock in between, because that'll wear a hole in the sock. So that's your intake install. Real simple, just make sure you have clearance. Make sure that your bottom is cut out so the snow falls out, and you will not have any issues using a C3 intake, even in deep champagne powder. Hello YouTubers, Toby Till here with Rocky Mountain Snow MX. We are here to provide you with all of your snow bike related technical videos and also any parts or accessories you may need for your snow bike. Feel free to give us a call, 720-263-7533.